morning, folks. We're here on a commercial building today, and we're going to go over the steps required to do an ADA level entry shower on a concrete floor. As you can see here in our installation, we've got about a 38-inch shower opening. We're going to go ahead and lay this area out and begin saw cutting. We'll show you the steps that are involved in doing that. We've marked the perimeter of where our pan is going to be setting, where our series of saw sections start in the concrete floor. As you can see, we've kept it off of the sidewalls about 4 inches all the way around, and we've actually extended it past the opening of the shower. Once we cut this with our concrete saw, we're going to come back and cut a series of cuts in the concrete about an inch, inch and a half wide, and about an inch and a quarter deep, which we'll just chisel out with a braking hammer.
We've experimented with several types of different concrete cutting saws, and in our opinion, the Husqvarna K3000 electric wet saw is the best saw for the job.
Okay, so we're back on our level entry shower. We've made a series of cuts in the concrete floor. Again, they're about an inch, inch and a half wide. We've taken them down about an inch and a quarter deep. The next step will be to take our chipping hammer and chip this concrete out of here. This whole area here, which was about 36 by 36 inches, took us all of an hour to saw cut. Finished chipping out our concrete. We've taken a vacuum and cleaned out all the loose particles in the recessed area. This whole process took us about another 45 minutes, maybe an hour with cleanup.
Prior to installing the pan, it may be necessary to bevel the concrete around the perimeter edges to avoid lippage when sloping between the pan and the wall. Our floor preparation is complete. Now it's time to cut our pan to size.
We've taken our measurements and we transposed them to the pan. We'll get ready to mark the pan. And we're going to go ahead and cut the pan with just a regular skill saw like you'd use to cut 2x4s. As you can see with our straight edge on here, this pan has a 1/4 inch per foot pitch built into the pan. Now we're going to go ahead and install the drain into the pan. With our kit, we're going to give you some silicone that goes on the back side of the drain. You simply take the cap off, pierce it, and put a liberal amount of silicone on the bottom of the drain. You want to make sure that you go around the screw holes. Don't be afraid. This is the only place that you use this silicone, so don't be afraid to use the whole tube. So as you can see, we've got a liberal amount of silicone on there. The drain assembly is real easy. It just sets into the pan. You simply rotate it until the engagement tabs lock into place and push down on it. Then you're going to want to go ahead and just hand tighten the 6 stainless steel screws that we provide for you to secure the drain to the pan.
Clean off any excess silicone that may squish out onto the pan while tightening the drain in place.
When we're working with a full-size pan, we put cut lines in the pan for you around the perimeter. In some cases, you're going to have to cut the pan smaller, and you'll end up ultimately cutting those cut lines off. If that's the case, you can simply just flip your pan over and mark the cross sections on the top side of the pan, so that when you do your countersink, you're going to be hitting the meat of the pan right here. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. We've already marked some of the lines on here. So you can see this line here corresponds with the meat of the pan underneath. And then we'll just come back in and countersink our holes so that we're going in through that cross section. We're going to go ahead and countersink our holes that we just put in now. It'll be real similar to the 4 holes that are already pre-built into the pan when we're done. All right, we've gone ahead and countersunk our hose around here. Now what we want to do is just dry run a screw down into the pan. You want to make sure that the top of that screw head is below the top surface of the pan. Otherwise, when you go to your waterproofing step, it's actually going to ride up and over the screw, and you don't want that. One of the other things in the injection mold process, there may be a couple tabs on here that you need to just take a grinder, just real quick, knock those tabs off. We finished cleaning out our area. Now we've taken a 3x5 sheet of tile backer, cut it in half with the finished side up. We've enclosed our shower area here in preparation for our pan setting. We're getting ready to prepare our modified thin set, which will be used when we go to set the pan into the recessed area of the shower.
Follow the manufacturer's instructions when mixing the latex modified thin set.
We've gone ahead and mixed our latex modified thin set and poured it into our recessed area. You'll notice on the bottom of our pan it's waffled. The waffles are thicker at the outer edges of the pan, thinner towards the middle. So when you put your latex modified thin set in the recessed area, you're going to want to keep it thicker at the outer edges and taper down and make it thinner towards the center, towards the drain. When this cavity is filled, we're also going to take the latex modified thin set and apply it to the bottom of our pan. This helps create a mechanical bond between the pan and the thin set that's in the recessed area. It just acts as a filling agent to take up any voids that may be in the... Now we've got our latex modified in our recessed area. We've gone ahead and put some latex modified thin set on the pan. We're going to go ahead and spread that around on the pan just to fill these voids of the pan so that we get a good mechanical bond. We're ready to start tap counting our pan down now. Well, first thing we want to do is make sure that our pan is going in level. So as we're screwing it down, we're going to be positioning the level around the pan just to make sure that at all times that pan is going down level. One of the important steps in installing the pan is to make sure that the 4 screw holes around the drain are securely tightened. That helps maintain the pitch to the drain.
Use a rotary hammer drill with a 1/4-inch bit to drill holes in the concrete. Install 1/4 by 2 3/4 Tapcon screws to secure the pan in place. Your pan is now set and leveled. Avoid foot traffic in the shower area until the thin set is fully cured. The work performed up to this point is easily completed by 2 people in 1 day's time, with first-time installs taking slightly longer. We're back on day 2 of our install. Our pan is set overnight and our thin set is dried. Now we're getting ready to prep the pan for sloping and waterproofing. I want to take a minute to just talk about our waterproof taking kit and some of the items that it includes. With our kit, you're going to get 37.5 feet of this 38-inch wide fabric. We'll give you 75 feet of a 6-inch wide fabric, a pair of latex gloves to protect your hands during the waterproofing, a paintbrush used to put the waterproofing on. We do not want it to be put on with a roller. We give you 15 feet of a 1 foot wide mesh material, and 2 gallons of our waterproofing. At this time, I took the liberty to pre-cut our 6-inch wide fabric and our 38-inch wide fabric for the floor area in the corners and the seams. This is our North American NA500 quick drying patch material. This patch material is one of several that can be used with our system. We ask that you check our installation manual for the others that are available to be used. This quick drying patch material will be used to extend the pitch from the pan to the wall and to fill any voids that are left in the floor from when we did our cutout. As my quick drying patch is starting to dry, I can go ahead and flip my trowel and carve it, and then come back and smooth it out. Mix the quick drying patch according to the manufacturer's instructions. Once mixed, trowel into place, extending the pitch from the pan to the wall. Our mud on our pan now is all dry. As you can see, we have a positive slope on our pan. The next step is going to be to waterproof the seams horizontally and vertically, and we're going to coat the whole pan with the first coat of waterproofing. Apply a thin, smooth coat of waterproofing to the tile backer board and to the entire shower pan area. Allow the first coat to dry completely before proceeding. Our first coat of waterproofing is now dry. We're going to go ahead and recoat our seams. As I said earlier, we pre-cut our pieces of fabric to lay into place. So what we want to do is just recoat the area that we're working on. So we're going to go ahead and waterproof this. We're going to go ahead and set our preformed corner piece into place. You want to make sure that you get it tucked into the corners. You can go ahead and use your brush to help you with this. What we're going to do here is we're going to lift back the top layer of this. Just work some waterproofing underneath it. Set it back down and just work it into place with our brush. Again, you just want to use a thin layer of waterproofing as we're going to come back over this one last time. As you can see, the corners are nice and tight. Alright, we're going to go ahead and continue on our horizontal seam here in the bottom. Again, we're just going to put a wet bed of waterproofing on here before we put our fabric into place. I've pre-seamed my fabric. What I want to do is just pull it tight, set it into place, and just work from my center out. Again, you want to make sure that this fabric is tucked in tight. You can use your brush, you can even use your trowel to help get it in. You don't want this fabric to roll. You want the seam to be nice and tight. And then just continue to work your waterproofing into your fabric. If at any time the fabric seems to be coming loose, it's okay to pull it back, put a little bit of more waterproofing, and then work it back into place. Here we're going to show doing an outside corner. We're just going to drop our fabric into place. Make sure that it's tight in all your seams. And again, just waterproof back over it. We've completed our side and back seams. We've completed our corner. Now we're going to do our vertical corner seams. Same process, just coat it first with waterproofing. Place your fabric into place so that it's tight in the corners. And again, you can use your brush to help get it in tight, and then just come back over it. If at any time when you're putting the fabric in, if you get a little bubble or a seam, that's okay. Just cut that seam with your razor knife and waterproof over it. So you can see we have one here. We'll go ahead and cut that with our razor knife. Put a little waterproofing back under it. We've finished doing all of our horizontal and vertical seams all the way around the pan. Now it's time to put our fabric on the base of the pan. So we're going to come in and coat the whole pan with waterproofing, lay our fabric into that wet bed, and then rework it with the waterproofing over top. We're going to go ahead and cut out now for our drain insert. This insert has a series of 12 weep holes that are designed to allow any water that may get through the tile to evacuate back into the drain system. To do this, you just simply reach around here and feel in the drain there's a little ledge. Just take your razor knife and just real carefully cut all the way around here, which will allow for that drain insert to fit down into place. With 4 stainless steel screws that we provide, it just simply turns, hits the engagement tabs, drops down in place, and then 4 stainless steel screws. The insert piece should be installed after the waterproofing has completely dried. Do not use silicone or any other type of sealant when installing this piece. At this point, we're going to go ahead and allow our shower to dry for 30 minutes. We're going to put one more final coat on the walls and the pan. That'll dry for 24 hours. We haven't really talked about the drain yet, but the drain is a very simple no-cut gasket type drain. When you bring your pipe up into your shower, you're going to want to bring the top of your pipe up to this level of your drain, and you simply put some grease around your gasket. You want to make sure that you install this gasket with the beveled end up. That'll just drop in around your pipe. Then we give you a tool with a lock ring. You simply just put that tool down, tighten that lock ring in place, remove the tool, and your drain connection is complete. For our strainer, this is a 2-part strainer that pulls apart, so if you have to adjust your height of your strainer after the tile is in, you can do that simply by removing this part, threading your threads up or down, popping your receptor back in. We give you a construction grade. During construction, you're going to want to have that into place so when you're tiling, no thin set will get down into the drain. That'll just simply screw into your insert piece that's going to already be in place, and you're ready to begin your tile. All showers should be water tested and inspected prior to tiling. Refer to our written instructions for more details on how to water test level entry showers. For the highest level of protection, we strongly recommend that the waterproofing process we've shown is continued up the entire wall area of the shower to include all of the horizontal and vertical seams in the shower area. Congratulations, your level entry shower is now complete. When tiling, remember it's important that you tile your bathroom floor first, then your shower pan, with your shower walls being tiled last.